Hi! If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, it's called AcroYoga, and it involves a lot of trust, builds relationships, and identities.
I started AcroYoga last year when I was depressed. I wanted to do tightrope walking, but my mother said that I should probably do something more therapeutic. She found this thing called AcroYoga, which was starting up at her local yoga studio. So I gave it a shot. I think it was one of the best things that has ever happened to me. Many people ask me what AcroYoga is. AcroYoga is a mix between partner acrobatics and yoga, using principles of alignment from the ladder. In AcroYoga, there are 3 important roles. The first role is the base. The base supports the flyer, who does acrobatic tricks and holds therapeutic positions in the air. The person who makes sure all of this is safe is called the spotter. The spotter is always ready to catch if the flyer falls. There are 2 main types of AcroYoga: lunar AcroYoga, which is therapeutic, and solar AcroYoga, which is acrobatic. AcroYoga helps people to gain relationship skills. To explore how it does this, I interviewed some members of my AcroYoga community. Here is what they had to say.
The whole process of learning how to do acro really teaches you communication. It teaches you to say what's wrong, to say what's good, and to offer suggestions how to make something better, whether it's to make a position feel better or to make sure that you're not going to fall.
Practice in talking things through with a person before you do something together, and making sure you check and you know, we're going to do this. Do you know we're going to do this? Is that okay with you? And so just being open to discuss things and making something be cool is always cool.
It kind of gives a good platform for you to be able to approach people with a common goal and common interests, and kind of navigate that communication space with others. Yeah.
I've learned a lot about the things that you need to use and know in relationships. So communication and learning to ask for what you need, and just how important that is in continuing ongoing relationships and forming new ones. So not just thinking okay, this is a new relationship and everything needs to be perfect. I think sometimes we have this ideal that you're new and it's going to be whatever, but in order for a relationship to be solid, just as an AcroYoga pose to be solid, you have to be just completely true to it.
Really good question. It has allowed me to learn trust and to join a community of people that are very caring, and they're giving as well. They love teaching people as well as they love learning people.
One of the things I noticed that was a struggle for me when I first started, and probably for the first year or so, was learning how to ask for what I need, and learning how to make requests and feel okay about making requests. And so that's a muscle that got built through AcroYoga. So now when I approach relationships, I think it's helped me to learn how to ask for what I need. So relationships are happier. More often than not, I get what I need out of them.
Besides improving participants' relationship skills, AcroYoga also helps to shape their identities. To find out how it does this, I asked my fellow AcroYogis.
I'm an AcroYoga teacher. Before I started teaching, I did mostly traditional Hatha yoga classes. I was very used to a strictly meditative practice and a very solitary kind of life most of the time. So I think AcroYoga has helped me to shift some of what I bring from yoga practice and as a yoga teacher into communication work, into groups, into working with groups. So it's changed my yoga teaching, it's changed what I think is useful. It's been useful in community development, and those are all things I do that I suppose are a part of my identity to anyone who looks at me from the outside.
AcroYoga has helped shape my identity in some of the ways that yoga and biking and running and all other personal fitness kind of does. It allows you to have a platform to freely express yourself. That's really, really important.
I'm a student pastor, so I'm studying to be a pastor, but I'm acting in the capacity of a pastor of a church. And one of the things that I find difficult in the life of the church is communication and is physical boundaries, because the church is supposed to represent this intimate relationship, whether it's between God and us or me and another person. There's this sense of intimacy that doesn't really exist, because for so long we've kept each other at bay. We've kept people at bay out of fear of sexuality, really. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's what it comes down to. And so Acro has really helped me to identify those points that help relationships grow from physical contact and through the use of communication, and it has shaped how I express all of that in a relationship with people in my congregation, and leaning into a deeper sense of what it means to be in an intimate relationship that is healthy and affirming and grows out of that sense of caring and tenderness.
I want to join the circus now. AcroYoga has made me realize that I just really want to join the circus. I really enjoy tossing people around in the air. The high-flying stuff is one of my favorite. People are so much more fun to play with than a weight set in the gym. And it allows me to stay healthy and fit at the same time, meet new friends, and enjoy the company of others.
So it's helped me learn a lot about myself. And so I think one of the major lessons I learned was through trust. So trusting myself versus trusting others. And I see people who bake tend to be really trusting of themselves. They feel really solid, and people who fly tend to be really trusting of other people. So I was really trusting of other people. I had no problem flying, could throw me up, do whatever you want. When I got under somebody, I would get really shaky and feel really unstable. But the more that I did Acro, the more that I felt comfortable within myself and was able to build up on certain tools. And that goes back to forming relationships. So be stable in yourself is to be able to ask for what you need. Be truthful to yourself. So it's all things kind of combined. So the relationship and individual identity piece kind of go hand in hand for me.
I've been doing AcroYoga for about 1.5 years now. In that time, I have started to become more open about what I need and more considerate of others' needs. Today, I'm doing acrobatic skills that I would have been terrified to do 1.5 years ago. Doing crazy tricks in the air requires a lot of trust, not only in my partner, but also in myself. Through this, I've learned that it is easier for me to trust others than to trust myself. AcroYoga has made me more aware of myself physically and mentally. It has truly shaped who I am today.